Again, we'll try that. Welcome, everyone, to the Business Success Training of July 15th, 2017. My name is Yvette Dickey, and I also have the pleasure of working today with April Reynolds. I'm here in Monterey County, and just let me briefly share my story. My daughter had always struggled with sort of IBS issues, constipation, stomach pain, back pain, and we had done everything that Western medicine had asked us to do. She had eczema all up and down her arms, although we had been to allergists for years with shots twice a week. And she wasn't getting any results. She had taken at one point 13 vials of blood trying to figure out what was wrong with this poor kid. And they'd sent us to specialists for gastrointestinal and lots of other things, and we just weren't getting any real results. So roll along, we'd kind of fallen into just watching her be in pain, and then at 13, when we noticed she was taking 4 ibuprofen every 4 hours followed by Tums and Halls, then we went to alternative, and we started her on, chiropractic, acupuncture, acupressure, Chinese herbs designed just for her, and we weren't getting any results there. So 4 years after that, we were pleasantly surprised when we were introduced to these products because she started taking them, and in a short time she got results with her stomach pain, her joint issues, sleeping through the night, the constipation that she'd had almost her entire life. Now she went on a regular basis, and it was lovely being able to send her off into a college life without dealing with these issues. She loves her products and knows that she relies on them daily for being able to enjoy the life that she has now. My son struggles with epilepsy, and through the side effects of all the medication with epilepsy, he was having a lot of issues. He wasn't gaining weight. He reacted very quickly to the sun. His blood work was all over the place. And so when we saw such amazing results with my daughter, we got my son on the products. And I didn't expect to see much right away because, we're dealing with the brain and the whole blood-brain barrier. But again, pleasantly surprised, could not believe that all his blood work came in the normal range very quickly. He started not having as many reactions to the side effects from medications. And even in a short time, they had to reduce some of the medications he was on because he was so effectively processing it. We can't claim that we are curing anything, but boy, we're sure giving our bodies the bolstering of health that it needs. I am a cancer survivor, and I had debilitating migraines for years and years. And since I've been on these products, I have not had a migraine. And it also repaired and kind of corrected a lot of women's issues that I had. So we will be rewarding our bodies with these products for as long as we are alive. And so we're so grateful for the person who reached out to share with us. So before we begin, we'd like to open up the lines and mics if anyone wants to share what's happening in their business this week or recently. We'd love to hear all about that. So anyone want to come forward and share? You might need to unmute your lines by *6. All righty. So let me introduce April Reynolds from Houston, Texas. She's going to start off our training this morning. April, would you like to come on?
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, sure. Well, before I actually do the training, I just wanted to share my story briefly, just like you did, Yvette. And I know we have a smaller group than normal today, and that's really common given that it's summer and a lot of people are out and about, and we are all looking forward to as many as possible of us joining together for conference. But that's down the road. We'll talk about that in a minute as we get on with the training. I found Relive 4.5 years ago. I got in to have it as a business. I considered myself healthy because the health issues I had become so common to me. I just thought that was just part of life. And at the time, I started to take the products just because I thought, well, if I'm going to offer them to other people, I need to take them myself. I was actually facing at that time 2 surgeries, one for trigger finger, one for arthritis. within a short time, those symptoms went away. I never had to have either one of those surgeries, which made me really happy. Short time later, I got where I thought was mosquito bites that just kind of ached and didn't go away. Finally ended up at the doctor's office, found out I had shingles, and he told me he was really sorry, but I took too long to come in to get the medication that would help with shingles. And so I found out what other people had done to help with shingles, took it, and I never ended up with that terrible nerve pain that can go on for months or years after you've had shingles, which I've just heard of so many people that have been in such pain for an extended time, and I felt so grateful that I had a way to naturally help my body to get on top of it. I was able to resolve an irregular heartbeat without the medication that my cardiologist originally thought I needed. And when it finally resolved, he says, "You just keep doing what you're doing." I'm like, "Oh, I will." I will. And I was able to then get off thyroid meds that I've been on for well over 10 years. And the list just goes on and on. I guess one thing that I think is really has given me just a great deal of encouragement and fulfillment in this business is knowing that I can help others, knowing I can help friends, associates, people I meet, and especially people I dearly love, like my elderly mom who had struggled with really difficult issues from a injury that she had where her ankle kind of crumbled, and she had plates and screws put in and 3 different surgeries, and it just wasn't healing up. It was just paining her to the point where she couldn't even stand long enough to make a batch of cookies for her grandkids. And I think she felt like this was like the beginning of the end. And I could see it in her voice and her comments. And she has a vibrant mind. And I thought, I just hate to see her kind of give up on life because she feels like she's just overcome by this pain and can't have mobility like she would like. And so I asked her to try them, and she told me later that she was pretty dubious about it, but she trusted me to give it a try. And within just over a month, she called, and she was so excited. I literally thought something was wrong. She was like, April. I'm like, what? Well, Mom, what's going on? You know, she's like, your stuff is working. She goes, I have been on my feet for the better part of 2 entire days. I've gone shopping. I've gone out to lunch with my friend. I've gone to do some church service. And she goes, this is amazing. And it's just been so fulfilling to know that I could help her have a quality of life in her sunset years to be able to enjoy doing the things that she would like to do. And whether it's a loved one in your family or people that you reach out to, like the person that reached out to Yvette, just knowing that you can have a business that can uplift people and do such good and earn money while you're doing it. I mean, how much better does it get than that? It's just really, really encouraging to know that we can do something so wonderful and wholesome for people. And so I guess that just kind of shifts over into thinking, you know, to the concept of what you're seeing here now on the screen. How do we succeed with Relive? How do we succeed? And because we want to be able to share it, we want to be able to present it to other people in a way that they will be open to trying to, you know, learn how to take it and to catch the vision of what it can do for them. Well, the way that we do that and the way that we can learn to be more effective at doing it is to follow 5 fundamental steps, which we're going to go over today, to introduce new people to Relive. And in the process of doing it, we have the Relive system that we can follow, the business cycle, the corporate support that's provided for us, and then, of course, our part, which is daily activity. And as we go through this process, we continually fuel our business with new people because it's great to have people in that are great for your business, but the way to get your business to grow is to introduce new people. Next. Okay, so yeah, it's a little slow, but that's okay. We'll work with it. So this is a little more close-up of that circle of success, and many of you may be familiar with it. The first step is to identify. The next is to connect, share the story, ask for a decision, register, and go. And these are the daily fundamentals that we should be working on. And then you see right in the center, the key is to follow up. And I know that how to follow up has been something that has been challenging me to know how to effectively do that. And so that's something as we continue to interact with each other and learn from each other in trainings like this and in other times when we can call each other and kind of glean from each other ideas, then we can be more effective in how we do it so that people can be understanding of that process of learning what they need to do for Relive, both as distributors and as people who are consumers of the product. And the bottom line is we need to take action now. If we say, well, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it day after tomorrow. This is a busy week, so I'll do it next week or the week after. And to be sure, we do have weeks that are crazy busy. You know, we have personal obligations, family obligations. You know, in the summertime, a lot of people have vacations and stuff. But we can find ways to kind of shift around that to maybe work extra hard the week before and after. And also when we're out and about looking for opportunities as we come into contact with people, say even on vacation kind of mode, that we can always kind of have an eye out to share. And here again, that's what's so cool about it. It's not like we're foisting anything on anyone. We're just giving information to people to let them be aware there are things that can help and bless their life. What would have happened for Yvette and her son and daughter if the person had not opened her mouth and shared with Yvette what it was that perhaps could help? You know, Yvette had tried over and over again, you know, all Western medicine, Eastern medicine, things that were just not helping, and it's just nice for people to know you have an option. But how are they going to know? Is by us opening our mouth and taking that action when we meet up with people and when we reach out to people.
Exactly. So the first of these 5 we're going to unpack is called identify. So the first thing you want to do in working with someone is to make a list. And when you're making your list, really think of why you're wanting to put this person on the list. Do they have a need? Is it financial? Is it health? So we're going to make a list of these people both in both arenas, for product as well as business. And this list is kind of like a organic thing. It grows and grows and grows as you're building your business. You will be continually adding from the different circles that you're in your life. You attend church, you're in sporting events, you're with a school or with work, or you go to the gym. All these different places you're going to identify and see people that they have needs. These needs need to be met, and we have the avenue to get them or the vehicle to get them to where they want to go. So contact the first 5 today. Don't wait. Don't put it off. Don't think, oh, well, I'm a little nervous, or think of their schedule. Just contact them. Reach out. I mean, so you get a voicemail. It's okay. They're going to hear your enthusiasm, and they're going to call you back, and you will make that connection. So a really important thing to remember, though, is not to prejudge when you're thinking about your list. Don't think about their status or their what you identify as something that would block the need, because you really don't know their heart. You really don't know what they're looking for. I had an example of that personally. There's this young couple that I kind of prejudged, and then I didn't contact them. I got in the way of myself, and about a month or so after I didn't contact them, I found out that they had gotten involved with a different MLM, and I just really felt like I shot myself in the foot in that way. So don't stop adding to your list. Continually grow, because you're going to have that pool of people. And then make sure that you do this activity every day.
So the next step is connect. And we look at our 20 prospects. We listed, say, 10 people for business, 10 people to be consumers of the product. And review those 20 people with your upline and decide who's first. Who do you want to reach out to? And you say, well, what do I say? You share your excitement. You share why you thought of them. Now, if you say, hey, I've gotten into this great MLM, and I want to tell you all about it because I think this is the greatest thing ever, and this is really going to help me achieve my financial goals and stuff, then it's all about you. And they're like, okay, so you're putting this on me? But if you reach out and share your why of why you thought of them, it helps them to understand that you really care. You can say, I know we were talking the other day about how, both of us have kids that are getting ready to go to college, and I acknowledge college is expensive, and I know you were really worried about it. Well, I found something I think is going to really help. Let's see if we can get together, and I can kind of explain what I found, and it's something that I'm confident is going to help me, and maybe it's something you want to take a look at. Those are the kinds of, sentences that you can use. You can, here's some other examples. Somebody is talking about their health as a priority. Maybe, it may not be that exact sentence, but maybe it would be somebody that had been sharing with you recently. I really know that I've just made a goal. I want to take better care of my health. I've seen people around me that have had some different health issues from not really, eating well, exercising. I'm going to really commit myself to that, and then, you can approach that person and say, I know we were talking the other day about how your health is a priority, about how you really want to take control and make sure that you do those actions that keep you healthy and try to, avoid some of these other problems you mentioned your friends have had. I'm with a company that I think could really support you and help you with that. When can we get together and we can talk about it? And another example, say, hey, I remember when we were at the soccer game the other day, our sons were playing, our daughters were playing, and you'd mentioned how you guys are kind of stressed out that all these, expenses are converging right now, and there's something that's actually been of great benefit to me. Maybe we can get together and we can talk. Now, here again, the person is not dumping out on them at that moment saying, oh, I'm going to tell you all that. It's about reliving, and I honestly, when I first got in, I made that mistake. I tried to say too much, and it's so tempting. But if we can, if you notice in each of these examples here, the last thing is, when can we get together? When can we get together? When can we get together? And, whether you use that phrase or something else, it doesn't really matter. But the idea is, have a time. If someone says, well, what is it? It's just, it's something that has worked for me, and I can't really do justice to try to explain it all in one sentence. I really have some things I need to move on to do. But let's see if there's a time and we can just kind of get together. You can come over to my home, or I can come over to yours, or we can meet, at a local coffee shop or something, and we'll talk. And, it may be for you, it may not be, but it's sure something that has piqued my interest and something that's working well for me. Now, one of the simplest things that people like, I just don't know that those words are going to come out comfortably or naturally. The most basic one is, how are you? And if you say, hi, how are you? That sounds like a greeting just in passing. But if you let people know, how are you? Then people can tell you're really interested, and then listen. Because the more we can listen, the more people can hear that we care. And I know sometimes, here again, I've probably made many mistakes that some of you have made, and maybe more mistakes than some of you have made, where they would start saying something, I'd want to jump in, oh, there's some stuff that I know can really help you, But here again, that sounds like it's two for you, one for them. You want to let them know, even though you care deeply about helping them, sometimes in our enthusiasm, if we jump in too quickly, too much, and start sharing information with them, they feel like it's not as much caring about them as more about us. So as we can truly show from our questions and from listening that they're interested, that we are interested in them, then they will be more comfortable to being more open to hearing what we can help them. Now, does that mean that everybody is going to feel comfortable to share? No. There was a woman that I had met in a gardening club that I was in, and I could tell it seemed like she walked a little bit awkwardly, but I didn't really know that until later she shared with me when I was inviting her to another event. It was not related to Toastmasters. It was actually for a Toastmaster, or not related to gardening club. It was a Toastmaster group, and she shared with me that she had Parkinson's. And she says, yeah, I can't be out in the sun. I have another group that I go to, but I have to walk quite a ways from where we park till we go in the building, and with my Parkinson's, I just can't do it. I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you had Parkinson's. How long have you had it? So I was trying to express concern so that I can learn more and perhaps see if that at some point she would be interested in having Relive something to help her. But at that point, she was texting me back and forth. She went dead silent. And so clearly she was not open to even having people express concern and to offer encouragement or suggestions. And that's okay. Not everyone is going to be open. But for those that are, they will benefit. And those that aren't, we just need to respect their privacy and move on to the next person who is really, really looking and yearning for answers. And when we go through this process of reaching out to them, we can use our tools that are available through Relive and our stories to validate.
Exactly. And when we are sharing the Relive story, remember, it's your enthusiasm for what you found what is way more important than being accurate with the right words. Be genuine. They're going to hear your heart more than they hear anything. Share your why, your belief, but don't, give them too much. We don't want to avalanche people at this point, not at any point, but especially not at this point. So that's why we use our tools, the opportunity book, the slides, videos. I love getting on the blog and pulling off a story from there. Just these things are designed to give enough information to see if someone is willing to take the next step, make the next decision, but it's not too much information where we've overloaded somebody. So really use the tools that we have and share your heart, be genuine. The important aspect of really getting this across is really having them hear other people's stories. The Relive story is Relive is a conglomeration of all of us. It's like, anyways, long story, but all of our stories make up Relive story. And so to truly tell the Relive story, we have to be introducing people to other people and their results in this. I heard a quote once. Julie Moeller said, if I'm having a conversation with someone and I'm not sharing a story, then I'm just talking too much. So there are so many ways to help your new people engage that you're free to use the resources that we have for the situation that fits your style, your situation. If you're long distance apart, you're not going to be able to meet with that person face to face. So you're going to get them on a webinar together. You're going to get them on a conference call. And you can listen to a recorded conference call. They don't know it's recorded. They might think it's live. It doesn't even matter if it's recorded or live. Do whatever fits in your style, in their style, whatever fits their situation to be able to expose them to these realities that we have. We have the Lifestyle magazine physically as well as it's online. Use other distributors, not necessarily doesn't have to be in your money line. Use your cross lines, your friends that you've made in this business. I mean, we all help each other, and that's one of the main things I love about this business. Just don't get caught up in the how-tos. Just go and do it. Your upline should be on speed dial, and use them in any way you can. They would love that. Get them in front of them, be them on the phone. Their written story is probably online that you can get. And having them hear more stories builds their wall of belief and opens their minds to other people. And they hear this, and that opens their mind to their circle of influence, which you are also able to tap into. Then you might want to...
Okay.
Go ahead.
Then you might want to ask for a decision. So after you have shared the story be prepared to do business when you're getting ready to ask for that decision. Have product and tools with you at all times. Super packs, there's sale tools, there's bags that some people can choose to purchase. And the other thing is it's important to have a recommended order ready for each option, customer, distributor, master affiliate. And now, of course, you're going to maybe work to personalize that for that person depending upon what they've shared with you. But if you have a situation where someone says, well, okay, I want to go master affiliate, then you don't want to be scrambling and say, well, okay, let me see what you should get. You need to be prepared to know what it is that you would want to recommend to them. Same thing, the different distributor levels or customer. Now, we know that each of the products can be standalone products. I think most of us would recommend, people starting on the basics, whatever that basics would be. But that's something that each person, may, if they want to gravitate toward one, I don't think it's really wise for us to talk them out of saying, no, I wouldn't do that. Say many people do that and find it really effective. What was explained to me by my sponsor was, because I was gravitating for some of the specialty products when I first was looking to get in, and he said, you can do that, but a lot of people find that they don't actually even need the specialty products. They get the results they're looking for just on the basics. And he explained something that really impressed me at that time. He said, we're not here to say, oh, good, if she can get the basics and she can get this and she can get this. I'm not here to try to push a bunch of products on you. I would like you to get the results you would like, that you are looking for on whatever the least amount will work for you. But on the other hand, if you want to get your results sooner, then you're going to want to be more aggressive in how you take the products. And if you're going to be more aggressive, then this is an amount that you might want to take, more of. Because a lot of people, their question is, well, how long does this, can last? How long does this bottle last? It depends upon how you take it. If you want to stretch it out, or if you want to really see those results start clipping in quick, then you're going to want to take more. And I'll work with you to adjust. And we'll reach out to people and find out what they did, how long it took them, how much they took, so you can decide, what's right for you. And so you're asking those questions. You're listening to them. An easy thing to do is to recommend a super pack, and maybe there's some additional personalized needs. Here again, maybe the person is focused on losing weight. Well, then the natural place for them to start would be Fit 3. But keep it simple. Don't overwhelm them and say, oh, hey, you can start with this, and since you're doing a big order, I'm throwing some of this, and throw this, and this, and this, and you might need this. It may just have them go, oh, my goodness, this is complicated. It's not complicated. That's why we need to not, make it overwhelming for them. And when you're asking for a decision, find out where the person would like to get started. Would they like to be a customer, a distributor, a master affiliate? I know one thing that I have done that has been effective to help people kind of, after I've done a presentation, to help kind of assess where the person is as far as their interests. I would ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being just incredibly interested, where would you put your interest on the products, 1 to 10, and where would you put your interest on the business side of things, 1 to 10? And that was very interesting, because there was one person that I spoke to, and he said products, he would put it at a 10, because he'd seen some help with his son healing up from some ACL surgery where he only took the capsules, and seeing how it helped relieve his pain, and they were able to pull away from having to give him narcotics, which was really, really against their values, but he was in such pain, they finally acquiesced and gave him some of those, but how he was able to quickly get out from those. And even as a football player, a teenage football player, when he went back for his rechecks, the doctor was floored at how quickly he had healed up from it. And so he had seen what the products can do, even just one product. So he was very, very interested in the products. And then for the business, he said 8. Of course, that was a challenge because his wife had had a bad experience with a previous MLM that had just been devastating to their finances because they had poured a bunch of money into it that they didn't have. It didn't produce. They felt like they were left with a bunch of merchandise that they couldn't have anything to do with. They couldn't return it. Here again, we have such great guarantees. That's something to put people's minds at risk. But she was way on the other end of the spectrum for business, and so it was something that I was able to talk to them both on the phone and put their minds at ease about it, because I told them very clearly, I'm not here to push this on you, nor do I want to cause problems in your marriage if you're not aligned in your interest on this. So as people can tell that you have their best interest at heart, not your business interest at heart, then it helps everyone to relax and go, oh, I think I do want this. And of course we're going to help them see their potential, select the best option that works for them. And just like for me, I didn't think that I had health issues. Well, it turns out some health issues I had, some were ones that came up that I was able to address with the products. But at the time, I wasn't even looking really to start on the product. I should do it just because, I was selling it. But we want them to start on the product so they can start their own story, maybe get them going on a super PAC. And then, of course, the key question is, who do you know who might want to start a Relive business? Who do you know who might benefit from these products?
And then you want to register and go with them. So remember, you come in that can. They're not just purchasing a can or multiple cans, depending on the level that they choose to become involved with us. You come in that. You're making their experience with Relive a great one. Because our retention rate, I believe, we're at 68%. I wrote it down somewhere. Yeah, average retention rate in Relive is 68%, which others have an average rate of 17%. That's phenomenal because we come in that can. We connect with them. How are you doing on your shake? How are you taking it? How are you being with your consistency? What results are you seeing so far? You're connecting them with stories. Sometimes that phone feels like, 100 pounds, but you pick it up and you follow up and you listen and really listen to where they are, where they're going, how things are. And often it's very, very pleasant experience, and they're very excited with what's happening, and their wall of belief is growing. You're building rapport with people. You're building a relationship. This is a customer service we give, which causes them to continue on the product and moves them up in their, maybe they just ordered as a customer and moves them up to distributor, or from distributor to a higher level of distributor. Each step on this, you're helping guide them to the results that they are wanting. Ask questions as you're doing this. When people believe you care, they care what you believe. And then you're tapping into their circle of influence when you ask them, who do you know who could benefit? As they're hearing these stories, names of their friends are going to be popping into their mind. This is just a common sense sort of a guideline. It's not an exact rule. You don't have to call them exactly on day 3 or day 10. It's just a guideline. So to help your distributors succeed, we help them take action. And right now, we review the 5 fundamentals of success. We call with them on the first 5 people on their list. We help them set those initial appointments. And as you review the basics of running a Relive business, they will be reassured by how intuitive and easy to use our system is and what amazing support there is for them. We sit with them either face-to-face or over the phone. We can do a tour of the relive.com website, how to navigate through it, through registering, ordering, and helping someone to find the tools that they need. They might be looking for a particular study someone asked them about. Well, here, this is how you find it. You go on the website, you click here, and it's amazing the amount of resources our system has. The tools that we have are just phenomenal. Between the presentation slides that we have, how about the business tools we're looking at right now? Those are downloaded from our website. We have blog information. We can pull stuff that lifestyle magazine, as well as having it physically, you can pull stories off of it on the website. You can look at your genealogy that help you. I love that decision tool. It's phenomenal that we have, helping people guide their decision making. Our tools are pretty much very succinct, and if you can't get enough out of our tools, then someone needs to help you with figuring out. And we're on a boatload of social media websites, and you can guide people to look at those. I love all of our science videos as well as all of our personal story videos. So get in there, really start using these tools that Relive has developed for us, for our use. And then we'll move into the Relive system with April.
So I mentioned at the very beginning of this webinar about the Relive system. This just gives a little more details about it. The business cycle, right at the beginning in the green, starts with the international conference, which will be just in a few weeks. Oh my goodness, it's so cool. And it's going to be so exciting. Make sure you bring your workout clothes, your tennis shoes, because I know they're going to have 3 different workouts there. It's going to be phenomenal. And the interesting thing is, they said that, this will be the last international conference for a period of time. They're not saying never, 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 but they did make it very clear. I know they mentioned on the last Tom and Tina show that the next year's conference will be 2 regional conferences, and he was almost on the cusp of saying where he goes, nope, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to have to announce that at international conference. So I am very interested to see where those conferences are. And it is nice because some of us, at some great expense do come to these conferences, and it would be nice for those that are closer to one or closer to the other so that it makes it a little bit easier for travel arrangements and stuff. But our conference this time, and of course, it will be awesome. I'll talk about that a little more about conference down the road in another slide, just the next one beyond that. But this list is as math, but we know that they are now called business leadership training. Those are excellent. And we have corporate support. And I know that Yvette mentioned some of those things that we can get, the support tools and stuff, but we have the monthly webinars and the product calls and the story calls and relive.com Get Started. And then we have our daily activities, the things that we can do to reach out to people, our presentations, in homes if we're working with somebody who is, in our area. But if someone's not in our area, as a lot of people that I work with are not necessarily in our area, so we can do, recorded webinars or other 3-way calls, introduce them to your upline, reach out to them with the 3-way calls and stuff. And here again, you see those little teal arrows going back and forth, that the new people are fed into this, that we can, do the presentations with them and then lead them over into some of our story calls that have been offered on a corporate level. And then, as they learn from that, invite them to the BLTs, because now the BLTs are not something you have to qualify for. You are, welcomed in to come. And they always seem to have a segment of those reaching out to people who are new so they can kind of get a sense of what things are like. So, I mentioned that I'm going to go into more about the international conference. Of course, we know it's coming up July 27th through 29th, really exciting. They still have the Sponsor 3, get a free conference registration ticket. So, and that is a $200 value. So if you have not already earned that, you can get that taken care of and invite someone who's one of your new people to come get a sense of what conference is really like. That's what really, really struck me when we first got in. Turns out that there was I live in Houston, and there's a conference that year. It was I think a national conference at that time, or a regional conference, I'm not sure, but it was being held in Austin, which my sponsor said, how close is Austin to where you are? And I said, it's 3 or 4 hours. And he said, well, you should try to see if you can make this conference, and you'll really enjoy it. And I thought, well, I don't know, I guess it'll at least be a weekend away from my husband and I, if that's all it is, then that's fine. But it was when I went to the conference that I was really, really struck with the fact that these are good, wholesome people, just normal people I could see around my neighborhood, see in the grocery store. They're not, all, high and mighty thinking of themselves. And then every single person had a story, and I was blown away by their sincerity, by the variety of different stories they had. Interestingly enough, they would ask me, so what's your story? And I said, we're newbies. We've just taken the product for like 2 or 3 days now. And they're like, oh, my goodness, you have a great journey ahead of you. You just hold onto your hat, because seeing the things that are going to be happening for you and your family in the future. And it was true, and that's what really cemented my interest in Relive. So if you can get some people to come with you, that would be great. If you can't, that's still okay, because you can reach out to people and say, listen, I'm telling you, after I come back, I am going to give you the lowdown, and it's not going to be like it's there, but you're going to be able to tell from what I'm expressing to you how amazing this is. And make sure that you bring if you're going to stay for the Saturday night party, which I think promises to be great. They've always been really, really good in the past. I guess there's are you rock and roll or country? So they're encouraging people that want to be able to bring some kind of thing to dress up to show which way you lean. And it's just a nice area to associate with the people you've met and associate with corporate people and stuff to realize how down to earth they are. It's just a really nice way to cap off the conference, in addition to all the information we've learned. And of course, one of the great things to go to conference with is a mindset of a specific question or two you're trying to get an answer for. And then of course we have Sedona. Sedona is coming up, and that is something that is just really, really exciting. And it's, they'll have 4 days and 3 nights at the Hilton Sedona Resort. That's nestled up into northern Arizona's Red Rock country. I visited there in May with my husband, and oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. The picture that shows here is just a little cusp of the amazing rock formations, and it's just a sense of, I don't know, pureness and goodness as far as the land, the air. It's just a really, really wonderful place. They will have opportunities like golf and hot stone spa treatments, and they actually have a video online if you want to go to relive.com/leadership-celebration. And you can see a video that has a little more details about the Sedona. So see what you can do to raise yourself to that level so you can qualify for that opportunity of going to Sedona.
I'm so excited. That's fantastic. I can't wait, too, for a conference, for the exercises that we have, to work out with Tina Van Horn. It's going to be awesome. And then I believe the Bueller organization is meeting, is it Friday?
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Friday, right? So I think
Friday,
most of the people on this call who are joining us, right, will be joining us for that, right?
Yep.
April? Yep. Exciting. Yep. So engage your team. As you build your organization, keep engaged. Keep connecting with them, building that relationship. Develop a library of stories. I don't know how everybody else does it. It'd kind of be fun to talk about that at a different training. Do you keep all the stories in your contacts? I know that's really fun in my phone. I'm able to, in the notes, write their results. So when I'm going to search for something, I can type into the search bar, like for my son, say epilepsy. And then in my phone contacts, everyone who has the word epilepsy will come up. And then I have a resource of library of stories dealing with that. Same sort of option in my phone, in my computer, with a search bar and all of those stories. And then I have them separated by downline and then people that are dealing with those issues. So it'd be fun to hear how everybody keeps their library of stories, and then we can connect with other distributors. And the tools that we have, like the blog I had mentioned before, I love going into the blog and typing in maybe something I've never worked with before, like COPD, and see what comes up. There are articles as well as health stories. So I just love our Relive system. We want to engage them and build their wall of belief so that they will build to ambassador and beyond, and us build to ambassador. Keep the dream in front of them. What's next? What is their next goal? What is their next thing they want to attain. Is it reaching their friend? Is it reaching a new level in the business? But just keeping their dreams and desires in front of them, and review where they are. Keep stretching them a little bit. What makes them tick? What makes their interests go? What will take them to the next level? How do they get there? Walk them through that. And then just make sure to take these steps daily. Duplicate, identify, connect, share the story, ask for decision, and register and go. And actually, in each one of these, you're asking for decisions. They're making their next choice. You're identifying them. Hey, are you interested in something? Connecting. Let me hear. Are you? What? Never mind. So when you're connecting with them, when's the next time we can sit down? When you share your story, you're sharing someone else's as well as yours or something, and then you're asking them for their decision. So
services tomorrow, so I haven't had any check, and I need you to put in.
All right. With that, I want to thank everyone who's been on the call with us today. And April, I thank you for sharing. Go out and find who's next, and let's duplicate the circle. I look forward to seeing everybody at conference, and have a good day.
Thanks. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Oh.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.